Eliot Ness was an American law enforcement agent and investigator, best known for his efforts to combat organized crime, specifically Al Capone, during the Prohibition era in the United States. Born April 19, 1903 in Chicago, Illinois, Ness grew up in a middle-class family, the youngest of 5 children born to Peter Ness and Emma King. His parents, both Norwegian immigrants, operated a bakery. Ness attended the University of Chicago, graduating in 1925 with a degree in political science and business administration. He briefly worked as an insurance investigator and then the U.S. Treasury Department, working with the Bureau of Prohibition in Chicago. In 1930, Ness was put in charge of a grand government plan to take down Al Capone, Chicago's head gangster. While there was a team working to charge Capone with tax evasion, Ness was coming at him for his alcohol business. During Prohibition, which lasted from 1920 to 1933, the illegal production and distribution of alcohol led to widespread corruption and violence in many American cities, particularly Chicago. Ness quickly gained a reputation for his honesty, integrity, and determination to take down organized crime. Ness's team of agents became known as the Untouchables because they were believed to be uncorruptible and could not be bribed by the powerful crime syndicates they were fighting against. It's said that Ness was offered $2,000 a week to look the other way. That's about $30,000 a week in 2024 dollars, but he refused. The Untouchables were responsible for a number of high-profile arrests and seizures of illegal alcohol during Prohibition, including the capture of Capone, who was eventually put on trial, not for the bootlegging charges, but on the tax evasion charges that Ness had very little to do with. After Prohibition was repealed in 1933, Ness continued his career in law enforcement, working for various government agencies and private companies. In 1934, he moved to Cleveland, Ohio, where he was put in charge of public safety, essentially overseeing the police and fire departments. While in charge of public safety in Cleveland, a series of murders, known as the Cleveland Torso murders, occurred. This severely damaged his credibility and was the beginning of the end of his career. He especially fell out of favor after he had the city's large shanty towns evacuated and burned during the Cleveland Torso murders. That, coupled with a high-profile divorce, questions over his drinking, and a drunk driving cover-up, Ness began to unravel. In 1942, Ness and his new wife moved to Washington, D.C., where he took a job with the federal government combating prostitution. Ness moved back to Ohio and ran unsuccessfully for mayor of Cleveland in 1947. After the loss, he worked odd jobs just to pay the bills and reportedly drank heavily while telling tales of his Untouchables days. He was nearly penniless at the time of his death, with his role in bringing down Al Capone having been largely forgotten outside of the bars he patronized. However, before his passing, Ness had collaborated with Oscar Fraley in writing the book The Untouchables, which was published after Ness's death and went on to sell 1.5 million copies. That book has been made into 2 TV shows and a movie and has been the subject of numerous other television series episodes, which is why Ness's name didn't sink into complete obscurity. Eliot Ness passed away on May 16, 1957 at the age of 54. Despite his struggles and setbacks, he's remembered as a courageous and dedicated law enforcement officer who played a significant role in combating organized crime during one of the most turbulent periods in American history. His legacy continues to inspire those who work to uphold justice and combat corruption. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, let us know by hitting that like button. If you want to see more content like this, subscribe too, and leave a comment. Lastly, check out Life Story on Instagram, Facebook, and X. We've got the links in our profile. Okay, see you soon.